Hello, everyone, and welcome to the March 2022 episode of the NBA's Smash Hit video program, All Around Newtown. I'll be your host today, Matt Peters, and today on All Around Newtown, we have a very stylish and fashionable episode for you, and we'll be hearing from one of the NBA's most stylish members, Gina Marie Santoro, the owner of Giovanni's Fine Fashion, which is located right on State Street in the borough of Newtown. But before we get to hear from Gina Marie and before we get to hear about prom planning and everything prom related, since it's about to be that time of the year, before you know it, it will be here. Let's go over some NBA member announcements first. So to start off with our NBA member announcements, we'll go over the upcoming March breakfast meeting. That will be taking place on March 24th from 7:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. And we do ask you to check the NBA website for the location. The sponsor of that event will be the Dave Marcola Group of Keller Williams Real Estate in Newtown. And the presentation will focus around the topic of that speech will focus around renting to own for first-time buyers. So with the kind of seller's market that we're in now, I would definitely urge you to sign up for that. If you're a first-time home buyer, if you're looking to get into a house anytime soon, you want to make sure that you have a good idea about what all of your options are for purchasing a house. So you definitely want to make sure you make it out to that March breakfast meeting on March 24th at 7:30 a.m. That will be an in-person event, although there will be the opportunity to dial in virtually over Zoom. So either way, if you're attending in person or if you're doing it online on Zoom, register on the NBA's website, newtownba.org. And then we have the next Emerging Leaders Workshop that will be taking place on Thursday, April 7th from 5 p.m. until 6 p.m. And that one will be at the Bucks County Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired on 400 Freedom Drive. That one will be that EL workshop will feature an NBA member and board member, Kelsey Jordan from KGD Films. And she'll be teaching us about how to create your first Instagram reel or TikTok video or YouTube short or other short form video. And she'll be going over a lot of helpful tips as far as how to create those videos, how to add in trending audio, how to add in trending hashtags, and how to make sure that you can get it viewed by the most amount of people that you possibly can. So that is in person only. There's no virtual option for those emerging leader workshops. So to register for that, all you have to do is go to the NBA's website, newtownba.org, and click to RSVP and attend that event. And it's always welcome to all members of the NBA. We specifically target those emerging leaders workshops to try to get out any of the folks who are 40 or under, 45 and under. And we also do extend it out to anyone who's just new to business or new to their profession. It's a great kind of low pressure opportunity to get out and network while also learning about something that's going to help you, better yourself as a business person. So you definitely want to make sure you make it out to that Emerging Leaders Workshop. Then we have the next NBA member business card exchange taking place on April 13th from 5 until 7 p.m. And we simply ask you to check the website, newtownba.org, for the location, the details, and also for registration details. Then we have the next All Around Newtown episode. That will be taking place on April 21st at 11 a.m. on Facebook. For that, NBA members will speak on a variety of subjects on the NBA's Facebook page. And then from there, we also share it out to the NBA's YouTube and also Instagram page, so we can get it out there on as many platforms as possible. And that will be taking place on the third Thursday of this and every month at 11 a.m. So the next one will be April 21st, and stay tuned for the topic for that and also the speaker and more details about it. Last announcement will be the job fair has been rescheduled. You might have seen an email about that. You may have been looking to participate in the NBA's job fair. It was originally scheduled for a time in March, but it's since been moved back to April 21st from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. It still will be at the Bucks County Community College campus in Newtown, and it will be held in the Founders Lobby. So if you want to register for that event and to get a table, so that way you can put out your job offerings, your career opportunities, and hopefully get some interested job applicants, we ask that you go to the NBA's website, newtownba.org, and register. And we want to thank our NBA partner sponsor, Employed, for helping us put this event on and for helping us, bring this to the community. And our final announcement will be just to check out the NBA Business School podcasts. Those are on our website, newtownba.org, and they're also discoverable on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. And we just ask that you contact the NBA at the email address info@newtownba.org if you're interested in being on a podcast. And we do have a great library of podcasts that we've been building over the last year or two or however long. And those are all available for you to view and listen at your convenience. They're up there anytime. So last thing will be, as I always say before I sign off and go to the other thing, just remember that you can opt in for text message reminders with the NBA. All you have to do is just text the phrase NBA to the number 844-574-6291. That's the phrase NBA to 844-574-6291. You could also find more about the text procedures on the website, newtownba.org. Okay, so that is all of the announcements I have for this month's episode. And that means that we could go and we can start to talk about what we're here for, which is to hear about prom tips and to hear about, everything prom related from an NBA member business, Giovanni's Fine Fashions on State Street. And we'll be hearing from their owner, Gina Marie Santoro, in just a second here. So you know what, let me shut up. I'm not the expert on fashion here. That would be Gina Marie. So let's take a walk on down the State Street and let's see what Gina has to tell us about prom planning for the 2022 prom season. Let's go.
Hi everyone, I am Gina from Giovanni's Fine Fashions, your premier men's haberdashery, located right here in the beautiful borough of Newtown, Bucks County at 14 South State Street. And I am here to tell you what's going on around town. Well, it's prom season, happening all over the area. There are multiple high schools where the gentlemen are getting super excited, planning their promposals, and getting ready to don the most amazing fashions. So, if you thought that you were gonna go into your closet, pull out that powder blue tuxedo with the ruffled shirts, the big bow ties, patent leather shoes, top hat, cane, your kids are not interested. I'm very sorry. Prom is an unforgettable evening and a rite of passage for the majority of high schoolers, as they put aside those skinny jeans, t-shirts, and hoodies for a sophisticated tuxedo to celebrate one of the most significant nights in their high school career. What they are wearing is going to be one of the most important details of their entire event. The staff at Giovanni's understands the weight of that reality and how they will want to capture their individual style. That's why we offer suits and tuxedos in all fits, including classic, modern, slim, and ultra slim. And because every piece is measured to their individual needs, they can mix and match to achieve their ultimate look. Fashion forward or timelessly classic, our supplier, Smart Formal Wear of Scranton, Pennsylvania, has the largest collection of tuxedos and suits in the Northeast. That, coupled with our years of experience in measuring, fitting, and styling, not to mention our impeccable customer service, is what sets us apart from the department stores and retail chains. Put your trust in our staff to help you and your son coordinate effortlessly with his date or stand out as he shines bright flying solo. 90% of the guys who come in here are going to ask the same very first question. And that question is, do I have to wear a tuxedo to my prom? The truth of the matter is there is no yes or no answer, okay? It is all personal preference. However, if your affair has been labeled as black tie or formal, even semi-formal, you want to go with a tuxedo. You'd rather be the best dressed person in the room as opposed to the least dressed person in the room. Now, if the event is being hosted in a barn, outdoors, or in a school gymnasium, you are 100% okay with wearing a suit. So, that being said, the next most logical question is, what is the difference between the two? I'm so glad you asked, because for the next few minutes, I am going to go through piece by piece what differentiates the two and how you can notice whether or not something is a suit or a tuxedo. Sound good? Let's get to it. Tuxedos and suits are both commonly made from wool. However, the biggest difference between the two is the use of satin fabric in multiple key areas of the tuxedo. There will be satin on the tuxedo lapels, buttons, pocket piping, and a satin strip down the side of the pant leg. Your everyday suits will not have any of that detailing and should not include any visible satin. In addition to the use of satin finishes, tuxedo jackets have a few distinguishing design features for their lapels.
Whereas a suit jacket will almost always boast a notch lapel or a peak lapel, a tuxedo jacket will sometimes feature a shawl lapel. Like the notch and peak lapels, shawl lapels come in various widths and shapes, but will almost always signify a tuxedo that's meant to be worn to a celebratory affair such as holiday parties or red carpet events. For purposes of prom, the decision as to which style to choose is completely personal preference. While tuxedo and suit pants can be hard to decipher between the two, here are some notable differences. First, as we mentioned, tuxedo pants have a satin stripe down the side of the pant leg to match the satin on the jacket. This satin strip runs the entirety of the length of the outer seam. This is crucial as it adds to the clean lines and sleek appearance of the tuxedo as a whole. Second, unlike most suit pants, tuxedo pants won't have any belt loops at all. You might wonder, how the heck am I supposed to keep my pants from falling down? First, this isn't a manufacturing defect. The lack of belt loops are intentional and are part of the clean aesthetic of tuxedo styles. One thing to note is that all of our tuxedo pants come equipped with adjustable waists for the perfect fit, but if you still feel the need to have a little help in that department, suspenders will tag in to replace the belt and save the day. Suspenders make for an excellent choice not only functionally, but aesthetically as well. When attending any formal affair, etiquette rules insist it is considered improper to show the waistband of your trousers. Therefore, wearing a tuxedo waistcoat or a cummerbund is a must. A tuxedo waistcoat is for all intents and purposes a vest. A cummerbund, which was very popular in the 80s, is a pleated sash, often satin in appearance, that is worn around the waist as a more traditional alternative to the waistcoat. A tuxedo shirt is quite simply a more elegant style of dress shirt that is meant to be worn with your most formal attire. Some people could get lost in the details, but for sake of time, we'll keep it simple here and only discuss color, collar, placket, and cuff of shirts that are meant to complement your choice in tuxedo. Let's first address color before all else. Regardless of any other design feature, your tuxedo should be worn with a white shirt. And even though this is our cardinal rule, we do, however, offer other options if that's what your personal style calls for. Nowadays, a semi-spread or spread collar that is found on a typical dress shirt is an acceptable pairing with a tuxedo, even when worn with a bow tie. The collar of a traditional tuxedo shirt comes in what is called a wingtip design, which is meant to be worn with a bow tie. Instead of having larger collar points fold down like a typical dress shirt, the collar points on a wingtip are abbreviated in size and do not wrap around the side or back of the neck. However, this is another area where the rules have relaxed, and a spread, or as we call it, lay flat collar, is not only acceptable but much more popular of a choice. Another option to differentiate a tux shirt from a dress shirt is the shirt placket. A traditional tuxedo shirt comes with stud holes in the placket as opposed to buttons, which will require studs. These studs essentially serve as buttons connecting both layers of your shirt placket to close up the front of your shirt. Now let's tackle the cuffs. While cufflinks make an occasional appearance with suits, they are an absolute must with your tux and are included in every rental. This is what makes French cuffs a necessity to qualify as a tuxedo shirt. So since we are already touching on it, let's discuss accessories. This is where you can bring a touch of personality to your formal wear ensemble. Although black bow ties are the traditional choice when you're wearing a tuxedo, there are hundreds of tie options, both bow and long tie, to coordinate with your date or add a little pop of color to show off your personality. Regardless of which tie you choose, it is imperative to select the appropriate pocket square to finish off the look. If you aren't sure what color matches best, we will be happy to guide you in the right direction. If you're really concerned about matching exactly, we suggest bringing a swatch of your date's dress with you. One thing you do not want to do is come in with a picture on your phone. 9 times out of 10, lighting changes the color of the dress and you end up with something not even close. But don't fret too much, you can always play it safe going with the traditional white pocket square.
Well, I think I gave you enough information to last a lifetime, right? Sorry about that. Sometimes I get on information overload. It just is what it is. So I really hope that you made it to the end of this video. I really wish that you come out and see us at 14 South State Street in Newtown Borough, Bucks County at Giovanni's Fine Fashions, which is your premier men's haberdashery located right here in town. I am so happy to have been able to be a part of this and thank the Newtown Business Association for doing this. And I hope this gave you a little insight as to what's happening around town.